think we're up and going. So welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Thursday, large project night. We're going to be finishing up the Patrick Mahomes portrait picture inlay. I've actually only got one more line to do. It was about 2 hours ago. I got up to 2 lines, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do a little bit more, getting so close to the end of it. It's like, oh, I'm almost done. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do a quarter line. Then it went to a half line. Then I ended up finishing line. I was like, I got to stop. I want to be able to finish it during the stream tonight. So I only got one line left to do. Going through, do my normal setups here. And I do want to share, since it's Thursday night, to my personal page. So it takes me a second to get all that going. Oh, and open up there. Here we go. So, but yeah, I think we're roughly at around 40-ish, 5 hours. I'll figure all that up later tonight once I actually get it done and all that. So I'll be working on the video, finishing up it. To share now. Alrighty, I think it's going to share. I believe I shared. We'll see. So I won't take too long to get into it, but yeah, this is the last line we got on it, and then I'm gonna work on a temporary hanger. It'll probably be it'll be temporary, but it will be there for a little while as I complete the rest of the parts, but I want to be able to hang it, take it to shows, etc. So, hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's looking pretty good. We'll give it a big stretch here once we get done. Well, the best I can. I will say, I tried to before the stream with what I had, and I just don't have quite enough depth on my table here to get a nice full pull on it. I try to do the best I can. I've got a little cloth I'm probably going to put under it to try to get it more of a central background so you don't see the bleed through of the little papers and stuff that are around the table. And, see if that'll give it a better viewing. And like I said, once I do get it hung, which I probably will actually get it hanging tonight, because all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some bigger rings at the top for now. Just some silver or 3/8 inch rings to temporarily, temporarily, like I said, it'll be on there for a while, but I didn't plan on designing out a thing to hold it forever, unless somebody was to buy it and they want to have something like that, then I'd do something. But we'll work that up and get it hung, and then I want to take some look at some of the areas, like I said, that I've noted throughout the process of doing this, that I want to see if I want to change or not. I doubt any of them would take more than, if I was to make all the changes I want, I would say probably about an hour to 2 hours worth of work, but I don't even think I'll do that much. Kind of depends. I need to get it hung, and then I can kind of make that decision. Like I said, right here in the mouth area, because he's got his mouth open and his tongue's kind of hanging out, and so that kind of bleeds together when you downgrade the picture. Like I've said before, this is a larger picture. I cut this part out that I wanted to use, and then to make it the size I want, it's basically a 100 pixel picture. 100 pixels tall, or no, 110 pixels wide by 96 pixels tall. So that'll, when you shrink down a picture that small, it gets, you lose a lot of clarity in it. But if I was to go with the full-size picture, this would be like a 400,000 ring project that would probably take me, 6 months or, well, probably more. So we'll do what we can and see how it comes out. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with it so far as is. I do think there's little bitty areas that I can make some improvements on, and we'll see how that works out as I continue. But we'll get it mostly finished up tonight. Saturday, I am going to do a small stream on Saturday, probably around noonish, somewhat early. to show off pictures of the final, get the video, show the video here first before I start posting it to the pages and sharing the time lapse of it. I'll show it on the stream first on Saturday. I do want to do it somewhat early Saturday because I do want to work on redoing my system. Everything going good. I forgot to kind of give it a look after we got started. Yeah, it looks good. So Saturday we'll do a little one. It might only be a half an hour long or so, maybe not even quite that long. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what I want to put in there. I might been considering showing this off at the beginning part of it and then show off some of the stuff that we've done over the last month and a half-ish, 2 months, while we were doing this project too. Just to kind of show off those things again, since I'm kind of done with those, and I'm wanted to do that before I redo my system, because I'm thinking next week I might actually take off streaming for the week. You know, it'll take me a couple days to redo the system and then kind of get everything going again, so it might be a good time just to take a week off of the streaming, get everything kind of locked back down and ready. You know, I need to get the system ready for this stuff and also the band stuff that I do, because the marching band season will start back up here shortly, and you know, it's good to have everything clean and ready to go and waiting instead of trying to do it while it's all happening. So we'll see how all that goes. And I figured it might be the best time. It'll give me another little extra time to make a decision on what the next large project is. Like I said, I've got 2 of them that I can't do right now as it stands, because they're currently out of the rings that I need. I'm not sure when they're going to be back in stock. I need to try to go and see if I can figure out when they might have those back in, so I can kind of plan it. I mean, there's still the other parts that I could do, that they do have enough of what I need for it, but I'm also debating on, do I want to take a break from this? It'd still be an inlay, sort of, but doing the chessboard out of actual bronze wire and bright aluminum. So I'm kind of still debating that. It's about like everything. I never know what I want to do till I just start it, and then there it is. But, so, yeah, if you're stopping in and watching the video, like I said, this Saturday, I guess, what will that be, the 26th? Yeah, 26th. And somewhat early. Like I said, I don't want to do it too late because I want to start working on the system. I'm actually going to pull my computer apart and clean up the graphics card and all the fans and all that good stuff. It's been a good year since I've done that, so be a good time to do it anyway. And then give me a, you know, like I said, this next week I can kind of fiddle around, get everything kind of tweaked back to where it needs to be. I'll probably do some test videos just for myself to make sure the system's working properly and all that, because I'll have to reset up all my programs again, and which is kind of a booger, but you know, it's kind of a necessity at times. And that'll give me time to play with doing the streaming software too, to kind of play around with it, check it out, and all that. So, like I said, I'm hoping to do it around noon on Saturday. It's not a set time, but it'll be somewhat early on on Saturday. You want to check back in and check that out. But yeah, the last several lines here have been somewhat simpler as is. I don't have to count out all the rings because it's just kind of a go from a red to a white back to a little red, and then a little bit of background on the right side of the inlay. So it started getting a little quicker once I got to that point. Not having to count out 110 rings per line. I've been putting in stoppers. I already put in my stoppers on this one. I did that real quick too, and that's I did that about 30 minutes before the stream, going, well, I want to finish. I should have left more because I'll be done with this line fairly quickly. So we'll give it a stretch, give it a look, and then I'm probably going to turn it around so I can get to the top side and start putting in those rings. We'll do that a little bit, I guess, on the string too, probably, just to give some more time since I was impatient and couldn't hold off on that line before the stream. But it's kind of like that when you get to the end of a project like this that you've been working on for a while. You're ready to just see it, you know. You just like you want to push through and get it done. I honestly didn't know yesterday if I was going to be able to get it to this point. I was wanting to, but I was like, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. And so I was tempted last night to work on it. And in a way, I guess I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would have... I know I wouldn't have got it done during the stream last night. And I would have gotten it done earlier this morning. So, probably a good thing I didn't. But I'm just ready to get it hung and get that first hanging so I can kind of see what adjustments I need to make. Like I said, overall I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's coming out pretty well. And with anything I do, I think it can always be better, but you know, there might have been a few things I would have changed in the graphic before I pulled it in to do my rings and all that. But that's about like anything, you can kind of learn as you go. And like I said, this first portrait style picture I've done so far. I've done others, but they were just, you know, 2, 3 color. I guess some were 4, but they were actual graphics, not a picture portrait type thing. So, and that's definitely different when you're having to try to do shading and all that. So it has been a nice little learning experience. As I've been doing it, I've definitely learned a few things on when it comes to shadings and all that, and some things that, like I said, I will change for future projects. As this, like I said, it's got several parts to this piece overall. And though, I mean, I'll just make up all the parts, and I'll be having them at events and all that. And I'm, you know, daughter was asking me, "You willing to sell any of it?" I'm like, yeah. You know, I'd make again, but I'd use a different picture. Because I do want my bigger inlays like this. I kind of want them to be more of a one-of-a-kind thing, where I'm not recreating the same thing again when it comes to this. Kind of like cheese flag. If I was to do another cheese flag like I did for Vicky, I'd want to change it up. You know, I wouldn't want it to be exactly the same. I just rather the piece be unique to itself. They can be similar-ish, but I don't want them to look alike. So, if I was to happen to sell this one, I would do another Mahomes one, but it'd be from a different picture. And you know, I just would. I don't know if it's a big thing. Some people might not matter to them if it was one of a kind or not, but that's kind of just how I've had a feeling on this. It's like I'd rather not do the same one twice. I'd rather change it. So, and well, like I said, we're around 44, 45-ish hours. Maybe 46. Like I said, I got to calculate. I think I've got overall about hour and a half to 2 hours of just cleaning time, because of all the bags I had to clean over time. And you know, I only count the time that it takes to just wash them up. I don't count the drying time and all that. You know, just what I actually have to use physical energy in. Drying time just sits there, so I don't count any of that in cleaning time, because it can take a couple hours to get them all clean, depending on how many you're doing at once. And the other thing was just so many different colors, I had a lot to clean. And I won't need that many for those nice little bits. We'll get back into some reds here, and let me give a quick look. See, I don't see any comments anywhere. So we'll just continue on here. If you are commenting, I'm missing. Sorry. Like I said, Facebook keeps changing up their thing. Twitch has been weird lately. Well, last night on my side it looked like the video was having issues, but everybody else said it was working fine. So even though it looked like crap on my side, now, you know, stats-wise it looked fine according to the program, but you know, the video I was watching just looked like crap. It was stuttering and stopping. Twitch wasn't even working. It's like halfway working tonight, I think. It's not at the beginning picture anymore, but it's still not moving. It still has me back over here at the beginning of the lights. So we'll continue out here and get this row done. Like I said, it might take a few minutes afterwards to get this stretch, because I'm going to roll this up out of the way real quick, and I've got a black cloth that I've used to hang as a backdrop for other stuff when I'm trying to take pictures inside, even though I still haven't figured out how to do great pictures inside yet. I do have some backgrounds that I've made up so that I can use them one day. Daughter used to do most of my pictures for me, and she doesn't have the time really much anymore to do that for me, so which is all good. She's got her own life to deal with. I just need to figure out how to take pictures. She would spend a lot of time and work it out and give me some great stuff. Okie dokie. So we've got a pretty decent amount of reds here. A few more. Come on over here. Give them the wide cheek berth here. Like I said, the teeth area, that mouth area, that's my major concern. There's a few other little spots here and there that I want to look at, right in through here maybe, but we'll check all those out once I get a good hang on it and can really see it and decide. And then I'll get into, I mean, I have great lighting here to do my chainmail. I just don't think it's the best lighting for doing video and pictures. It's nice and bright. Like I said, I use a bridge light that goes up and over everything here. So I got light coming in from every which direction. But it can be a little too overly bright for pictures and video. So I'll probably do a little bit without that light on once we get done here. See if that gives a better viewing of it. But it's good to have light while I'm working on stuff like this. At first I was just working with normal desk lights, and then when I started getting my workbenches here several years ago, they came with lights, and it definitely helped. I definitely had more light, but I always find the best time I can do the best lighting is actually outside in the sun. When I'm outside, it's so much easier to see everything. But this is about the closest I can get to it, probably, by putting in this light. Used to have it on a control where I could dim it and stuff. It was like I kept always just cranking it up, so I just put a switch on it. So it just comes on full blast whenever I'm ready to do some chainmailing. Then I can just flip it off real quick. When I'm doing other stuff, if I'm not actually mailing, but still doing stuff here at the bench, I just normally use the lights that come with the table. They're good enough for most things. And they were doing good for the chainmail until I built this, and I actually have a smaller version that I designed for my table when we go to events. Some of the events it can get dark or you just don't have good lighting, and so I've made one that'll slip onto the little TV tray that I work on at events and give me basically the same amount of light. So it's kind of nice. I'm not going to run it off battery or power, so I can kind of run it wherever. Quick look again. Not seeing anything, so we'll continue. We had several in last night. It was kind of nice to... I was kind of surprised to have that many people show up last night on a small project night, but I'm glad to have any of you whenever. Like I've always said, kind of doing it for fun, and to let people know that I'm still doing stuff, even if I'm not posting constantly. I don't want people to get bored with my stuff. I know there's places that I've attached to that it's like, they start giving me a little too much stuff sometimes. That's kind of how I kind of felt with doing these 3 nights a week, always making these, but try to mix up the nights. That's why I kind of set up the Mondays for medium projects and a Wednesday for small projects and Thursdays for large. Some people might not want to watch some of them, might want to watch others, so Gives you a better idea of what's going to happen that night in advance, so you know. Like I said, we always start at 7:30 on those nights. We're on the Facebook and the YouTube and the Twitch. You can search for us up there on those and find us and subscribe and like us there too. Normally get better notifications through those places compared to Facebook, but I will admit Facebook this last 4 times have actually been pretty good. The notices have come up pretty quick. Hadn't had any, you know, major issues other than, you know, the video that one night, but almost done. And then, like I said, I'll have the temporary set up. I'm going to get it at least so I can get it on a bar, and then I'll figure out something to hang the bar from. But I want to get up on a bar, and I have my wall grids work good for a temporary hold of the bar. Then I'll decide if I want to go any chains hanging off of it to hold the bar. I don't know yet. Like I said, I don't want to make something super fancy since it's going to be semi-temporary. But I do need to have something that it can hang up on at events. And then tomorrow I'll spend most of the day kind of glancing at it, looking at it, taking pictures, viewing pictures, and then deciding where I'm going to make any changes, if I'm going to make any changes. I know I'll have a few. Right off the bat, I know I've probably got maybe 10 minutes of work, not much, on a few things that I know I want to change already. But the rest, I did want to wait till I actually see it, just to make sure. A bunch of them grouped together. So, like I said, we won't be here next week, but we'll be here the following. That'll put us after the 4th of July, so be the 5th, I guess. Will be when we kind of start back up our normal Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. But again, we'll be here Saturday for a short bit, so we can do a kind of a recap of this project and kind of everything I've done over the last, I don't even know how long it's been. It's been maybe 5-ish, no, probably 6-7 weeks maybe. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, when we started this. And I was starting the streams with doing the Chiefs flag, and then kind of just continued doing the streams, so kind of lost track of time. I had so much going on the last couple months, it's been crazy. And getting ready to start events back up, so I need to still get out stuff and get everything prepared for that, but I'll have a little more time once I get done with this, depending on what the next project is for the long project night too. If I do another portrait style thing, I'll probably want to just work on it, but I have to try to hold off a bit so I can get some other stuff caught back up. And we'll see when I'm redoing the computer. I'm probably going to work a little bit on the small scale tie that we do on Monday nights. I might finish it up before we start back up the following Monday. I don't know yet. It kind of just depends, like I said, on everything else going on. If I want to kind of get all that tied up and so I can start on newer things. And if, you know, during that time I can always work on the jelly cube. Like I said, I started off as medium project kind of, and it kind of was. It was about a 3-hour project to do the 5x5 cube that I wanted to do. And I've done several since then, a few colors. But now I am working on it and just expanding it out. I just keep making up rings and we'll just keep working on it and building it up. So it'll come back on a few times, I'm sure. Just, you know, if I feel like it's jelly cube night, I'll just pull it out and we'll work on it. Where are we at here? Oh, my little thing's not moved up. I can't see how long we've been doing it. About 25 minutes, I guess. So almost getting done here. Like I said, if you're just joining us, this last line of the inlay, I'll give it a quick stretch, and then I'm gonna roll it up and kind of move it out of the way and try to put down my black covering to try to get it so there's not so much sewing through, because you can still see the paper outline behind the picture here, and Kind of throws off the colors a little bit when it's half on, half off, half on type thing. Do the best we can anyway. And then on Saturday you can come back and if you don't catch the stream, I will be posting the pictures and the time-lapse video to the Facebook pages and whatnot. It won't be a long stream, like I said. It'll be kind of short, just to kind of go through things. I probably will repeat that a couple times tonight, just so people know. Come back and see. I was going to tag my homes in this one again. I did a few weeks ago. Actually showed up on his page in the discussions area. I was kind of surprised. I didn't hear anything from him, but you know. The other times that I've tagged his, like my Mahomes jersey and stuff, they never showed up over there, so it's kind of neat to see it there the other day, a couple weeks ago, I guess. So I was like, well, I don't want to do tagging every week, so it shows up there every week, so I'm going to tag him on Saturday and for the final to show it all off. Let's see here, I probably need about 7, that's probably way too many as is. I'm feeling a little giddy in a way that it's coming and being done. In a way, I'll be a little sad. It's about like all your projects, though. It's like you start them, start feeling good. Midway through, you're like, oh, is it ever going to get done? Then you start getting to the end, it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Then you get done, you feel real happy. But then after another week or two, you're like, oh, that was so great. I loved it. What's next? What's next? Oh, and the cats had to open the door. I was thinking about closing it, but we got some storms that could possibly be moving in. They kept, every hour it seems like it gets pushed back a little bit more when the storms are supposed to move through tonight, so hoping we don't have any during the stream and have any kind of issues with the stream. I have to go check that though, because it's just too hot out there for that to stay open like that. No rain yet, but definitely muggy. It's a muggy one out there today. I think we only got to like 90, 91 today, but oh, that humidity is just so hard to breathe in. We were supposed to have several showers throughout the day, and they never came around. It was like, come on, I'm ready for it. I know it's not going to cool us down much, but, you know, I want some rain. Lawn wants it. I don't necessarily want the lawn to want it. It will want to grow, and then it will need to be mowed. That's why I said I just want to put in like a football turf out here. So it doesn't need to be mowed. I can just go out there and vacuum, right? Not that I don't like it, it's just pain in the butt with everything else I got going on. Especially right now without the rider. Alrighty, and then I've got I need 3 more here of white, and we will be done. So, and that will take us to, well, I need to look over there and see, I know it's just over 10,000 rings. Oh, excuse me. 10,560 rings is what will be in this, in 2 more rings. Alrighty. Like I said, now that it's longer, it's harder to get stretched out on this table. It was kind of driving me a little bonkers when I was trying to do a full stretch on it the other night, but there it is. Fully done. Other than, you know, I will add on a little bit of more of a border once it gets into the other. But yeah, I'm reaching up to the top and I'm overhanging already. So let's see if I can do the best I can. Said it's a little more difficult right now that it's longer. Try. Yeah, this side's not hanging as well as the other side. Can't quite see the bottom of this thing. Can't really quite see the top of it either because I just can't get it up over there. But that's about, about the best I'm going to be able to get while it's sitting. Like I said, when you get hanging, the rings that are crossing over can kind of, they'll pull together more and stand more straight together instead of having to lay down, you know, the gravity's pulling on the other side of it, so kind of throwing it off. But we'll give that a minute here real quick as I take a drink. And like I said, I'm going to roll it up real quick. I'm going to put down my background drop, see if I can fit it on the table decent enough where we can put this back on it and see if that changes anything. I guess real quick, let me flip off the light. Definitely see the paper more through it. Looks like a shadow in glass or something. Oh, there it went. See, I guess it is better without the light. You're not getting too much of the glare from underneath. Took a second for the camera to catch up with me. So, let's go ahead. Give this a quick roll up. Get it out of the way. I'm making a Mahomes roll up. Move this on out of the way. Oh. Not quite as big as the Chiefs flag. Chiefs flag was about 15,000, so I guess it would have been a decent amount bigger. Now this is kind of long. Hopefully I can get it fit on the desk here. Now let's see here. How can I wiggle this up over? So I don't have to unroll it all. But I need to get it up and around stuff. I got so much stuff out here. It's crazy. Got to get it flat. That's probably about all I really need. If I can get it to lay down. Okay. So let's throw it back up there. Let's see if we can get another stretch on it here with the black background. See if it'll look a little better maybe. Once it's on a solid background, really any color solid background, if it's bright or dark, is going to work, you know. Just, you know, so you don't see all that shining through per se. Let's see, how's that looking? It's not quite got the full stretch, and I can't quite get it up any higher. A little less room now with that there, but that's kind of where we're at on it. Nothing shining through. Oh, excuse me. It looks a little pudgy, but like I said, that'll come. I'm trying to manipulate it, but without the gravity's help, it's kind of hard to do so. Doing the best I can. It will be a little different once it gets hanging. They open the door again. I don't want to shut them out, but I don't want to close it up on them so that they can't. So yeah, I'm like I said, right in here. I want to do a little something. I'm not sure exactly what yet. I'm thinking I might try to change a few of these colors brighter and then dim them out a little bit further to the left here. The tongue area, that's just the hardest part. I might try to add in a little darker spots right in through the bottom part of the lip, I think. That might do okay. I was worried about my little shadowing here. I think that came out pretty good right around that ear area. Actually, the ear came out much better than I was expecting it to. And when I'm looking at it this way, right here, put away, again, it just looks like a blob of color to me. But when I look at it on the camera where it's, you know, several more feet away and watching the stream, I like how the ear turned out. Not digging that, but, and I'm definitely, I think I'm going to pull these out and just put in dark spots. I don't know why those are just poking out a little bit too much to me for pupil, I guess. I think I'm just going to go make that whole area. This one doesn't look too bad, but this one, I don't know. Like I said, that could change though. Once I get this actually hanging, it might pull together tighter where it's not as weird looking to me. Again, that's all my preference. Everybody's preferences can be a little different, so we'll see how all that ends up going. But we're going to go ahead and probably just roll this back up and move that out so I can flip it around and start getting my silver ones in the top. And then once I get those done, what time are we running? We're only 36 minutes in, so. But I have really no easy way of showing a camera view of it if I was to hang it right now, because I can't hang it from my thing. I want to make brackets for my desk up here that I could, but I still think it would be too short, because I really had to make some tall brackets just to get the camera up where it's at as is. So I think I'd end up dragging down and still hitting down here, and then I'd have the see-through effect of all my tools in the background. But I'm digging it. I'm pretty happy with it, I will say that. Hope you all like it. I was kind of hoping Vicky would show up tonight and be able to see it, but you know, everybody's got things going on, I understand. Especially with storms coming through if you're local here. So we'll just go ahead and kind of roll it up out of the way. I'll get this background out of the way, flip it around, and we'll just kind of finish the night with doing some silver into the top area so that we can get it hung. Then this is where I'll probably cut off the video for the time-lapse portion of the video I'm going to do. Alrighty. Well, my camera went all weird. Hopefully it straightens back up. Oh, it's because I was moving all that. Probably unfocused. Gotta put my clips on to keep all this nice and tight and neaty. And well, I can put it there for now. I don't want to put it down somewhere where I can get cat hair all over it. I normally keep all my camera equipment and backgrounds and all that in another place where the cats don't go. So I don't want to get all my stuff all furry from the fur animals. So, alright, let's put that on up here. I guess you can't really see, I don't have the side camera on tonight. So, where's my top? Where'd my top go? Is this it? Yeah, there it is, okay. Now he's upside down. Alright, I'll just kind of leave it half rolled up there so I can get room. Oh crud, I still need to pull out my rings then too though. Yeah, I sure do. Okay, like I said, we're going to use some 3/8 inch. Ooh, thought I had more than that. That might not. Oh, has this got any in it? No. Okay, I wasn't expecting that at all. Let's see here. Do I have anything 7/16? They're a little bit bigger, but I got plenty of them, so we'll go with those. Ooh, I need a. Where's my blank? I need a thing to put in my box so they don't go all crazy on me when I put them back up, because they sit sideways on the bottom here. So we'll go ahead and just start putting in those upper parts, and that will temporarily do the hanging from. Shouldn't. Boy, I hope these aren't too big. Yeah, but like I said, it's just temporary, so if I was going to permanently do it onto something, I probably would put in the 3/8 inch rings to do so. Don't need my top starter cord thing here. And, let's see. Yeah, I need to start on this side. Took me a second to figure that out. Well, if you're joining us, if you can go back in the video, you can check it out, turn the other way. Right now it's upside down. I guess I could tell the camera to flip and look like I was on the other side, but oh, come on. I'm going to have to get used to opening these large, big old rings here now. I've gotten so used to doing those for so long. Hopefully, I guess they don't have to be perfect closures either, per se. It's just more habit. I'll probably still want to. Yeah, there we go. Make sure I get the first couple going correctly. Yeah. Same gauge, definitely larger. But they should hold up good enough for, like I said, temporarily hanging. Hopefully it doesn't mess up too much of the picture for hanging. That's why I like the 3/8. I guess if I hang it and I don't like how these are holding it, I could change them back out. But we'll see. We'll check it. Why is that one? Oh, that ring flipped over. There we go. It's like, it's already messed up. What happened here? Well, like I said, if you're just joining us anytime now, you can go back, take the video back just a little bit. We just now flipped over from showing it on the fullest stretch that I could kind of give it on the table here. So you could view it and see what it looks like in its full majesty, I guess. Half majesty till I get it really hung and get some good pictures of it that way. Then we'll call it full. I have to figure out where I put. Oh, there's my rods. Okay. And I don't know if I'm going to cut the rod down to fit it. I might, just so that it'll be easier to travel with to two events for now. Till I get it done. I don't know how I want to fully hang the whole project once it's fully done. I'll skip one. That'll be something again I'll have to see once I get to that point and then kind of make its decision on. I'll definitely have to use something bigger, but I'll probably end up using more like 12 gauge rings at the top or something. But I got to make them within so they don't stretch it too much. I could put an expansion, or not expansion, but graduate my rings for the holder at the very top of the bar. Once I get done, I might go one size bigger, go up to 5/16 and up to 3/8, so it's not so drastic and wanting to pull the full project around too much once it's all completely there. Oh, hello, Vicky. Just catching the comment. Sorry if I missed it. How long ago? It's only a minute ago, so hopefully it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I just turned this around. I don't know. You should be able to reverse the video a little bit and give it a look-see. I had it turned around and stretched after we got done with the last row. We just finished it up a little bit ago, and now I'm just working on a temporary holders for the top area so I can get it hung tonight and decide on if there's any changes I want to make to it. But I'm pretty happy with it. So like I said, you can back up the video. You can watch it later too. I don't know if we'll turn it back around. I probably won't pull back out the cloth to put under it just because it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. But you know, right now I'm just doing the temporary holder for the top. It's another 110 rings, but you know. Need to have something so I can show it off until it gets attached to the bigger piece. Or like I said, if somebody ends up buying this piece at some point before I get everything else done, I would put on a different style to hold it at, you know, a hanger system, depending on what they would want. Just doing something more temporary for myself for now. Like I said, if somebody did buy it, I would make another Mahomes. I'd choose a different picture though. Like I said, I just don't want to do the same project twice. Like I would never make your guys' flag again. It looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I do think it could be a little better, but you know, everything I ever do I always think can be better. But like your guys' flag, you know, I'd never make another one just like it. I'd make another flag, same size, kind of similar-ish, but I wouldn't want to recreate the same one. I want everybody to kind of have a unique piece if they're going to get something like this. A large inlay like this, I think, deserves being kind of a unique piece, per se. You know, I'd still use the arrowhead and Sane, maybe, Chief's Kingdom, but in a different way. And I wouldn't want to put the stripe through the middle like we did on yours. I'd want to do something different, just so that they are different. It look great next to your flag. Well, that it would. That it probably would. Yeah, eventually I'll have so much Chiefs inlay stuff that it's going to be insane. Now that I've got this done, I'm definitely feeling more confident in picture portrait type style inlay with shadings, and learn some things that I would use for the future for sure. Well, you could always get it next for your flag too. You know, you can just send me a message going, "Okay, we're gonna get it." Like I said, it's a little bit smaller than your flag. Your flag had 15-ish thousand. This has 10,560 rings in it, so definitely a little bit smaller. Because I think yours was 165 wide. This is 110 wide. Probably about the same top to bottom, though. It was, or at least close. I think your guys' was, it was right around 100, and this is at 96, so pretty close on that front, just a little skinnier. As eventually I probably will want to do another style flag. I've had a few ideas since doing yours that I'd like to do that are definitely different. Definitely different, but all still in the brain pan. I haven't gotten out into working any graphics up for it because I've been spending so much of my time in graphics work trying to get the rest of this, rest of what I want to do for this bigger project figured out. Trying to adjust it, and then to make everything work properly, you know, you need specific ring counts. There's actually 2 parts of this I won't be able to do till I get 4 parts of the other that I want done. Just because I need to know exactly how many rings I need to fill in. More rings. Now, these things are quite a bit bigger than the others. We're working with 1/4 inch, so definitely much bigger rings. Got to remember to open a little further. Coming the right way. Well, like I said, these are kind of temporary for now. And I don't think you were here, Vicky. I said I'm going to be on Saturday. We're going to do a short stream Saturday around noonish. Where I'm going to show the time-lapse video, get some pictures done of it tomorrow so I can show those Saturday. And once I get done with the stream, I'll end up posting all that to the Facebook pages and stuff too, but I want to kind of do a final recap on Saturday real quick. Probably be a short half-hour stream. Show this, get those videos out and done. I'll probably show off some of the other stuff I've done over the last 6-ish weeks since we kind of basically what I've worked on since we got done with your guys' flag. Things we've been streaming on these nights, just kind of give a recap. I'm going to take next week off so I can redo my system. I'm going to pull my system apart, my computer, and get all the graphics cards and fans cleaned up, and reload Windows back into it, and get everything ready and prepared for kind of midsummer. Kind of starts doing the changeover because that's when we start getting back to the events and the band starts their stuff back up, so it'd be good just to have the computer cleaned up and ready for all that. So we'll take that off. We're going to be doing one, I think it's the last Saturday of July down in Smithville Main Square down there. Will be basically our first one of the year. Still trying to get it some other set up. I got, we normally also do the some of the school craft fairs they have up here in November and December. I've been getting the paperwork on that here. They've been sending it to me because we've done those for years, so they always send us that stuff. And there's still others I'm trying to get into and looking into, so we'll hopefully be adding several more through the rest of the year. I'd like to do at least once a month, starting in July. I'd like to do 2 a month. It just kind of depends on time and all that, you know, and how the wife's feeling. I need to start figuring out how I can do a setup myself quicker. Because right now my setups, because like I said, we have a lot of stuff. It takes me a good 2 hours to get fully set up, if not a little bit more, because I have so much stuff. It's like, you know, some of these other chain mailers I've seen, and they can get set up and, you know, we're done in a half hour, 45 minutes. I'm like, how? And they don't take a ton of their stuff with them, I guess. But I normally have 3 full tables worth of stuff, grid walls full of stuff, and then I just keep adding to it. Oh, I'm just seeing John posting. Hey John, how you doing tonight? Let me see if I can scroll back a little bit here, and I might have missed something here. Oh, there we go. 248 flat screens for comments and seeing my feed. Sweet. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm not gonna change up too much of that. I just need to get my computers all done and redone. But definitely, you know, events wise, when we start getting those going again, I mean, as it is now, I still don't even take everything. I just can't quite fit it all into a 10 by 10 anymore. I need more room if I take everything. And then I'll have all kinds of more stuff every time I go, you know. Every event, there's always something new. I always try to make sure I got something, even if it's a smaller project, just something new, so there's always something different there. But yeah, since it's been a good year and a half-ish since we've had an event, I'm definitely going to have a different setup and got a lot more to show off now. Get a new PC and 2 cameras for the stream, a microscope USB camera too for the micro stuff. Cool. Cool. I've kind of looked at some of that, but it's like, you know, I already got enough tied up in all this equipment that I currently have, and I'm doing okay with the stream. I mean, it could be better. I'm sure, you know, these cameras, like I said, I got 3 of the same cameras, Sony CX 110s, I think. 110s. But the first one I got was, you know, 10, 11 years ago now. So they're older cameras, but they still do a pretty decent job for me. That's what I use for doing all my band stuff, so. I'd like to upgrade to some of the better, you know, I mean, it does semi-high definition, not, you know, 4K or anything, but eventually one day. Did I screw that one up? What's up with that ring? Oh, there it goes. Just followed out of the place. My goal is more smithing classes. Chainmail is just a passion I can't seem to walk away from. Yeah. Well, I'd definitely like to do, you know, some of the smithing stuff. I'd love to have like a forge and stuff like that. Just don't have the room. Something I would love to learn. Just don't have the room or the equipment, so it, you know, I would say one day, but you know, I'm getting up there in age, so yeah, if I can continue doing this till I'm like 70, that'd be great, but that's only 20 more years. We'll see how that all goes. How long my body can last doing it. Especially doing events, that's always a big booger, but you know, I like doing events, getting out there. I do like chatting with people, which is kind of strange since I'm kind of a introvert in a way. It's kind of therapy going to them. But, it's, you know, you get into talking about chainmail. I love chatting with people at events. On just, you know, when they ask about chainmail, I'll give them whatever info I can. We're definitely past halfway point on this, so where are we at? Oh yeah, I forgot my thing's not there. Oh look here, so it's 8:30. So we're almost 8:30. So we're about almost an hour into the stream tonight. We might end a little bit early. I will flip it around once I get this part done, just to kind of end that way. But I'll have to get out the rod and start doing that part, and I really don't want to take the time on the stream to do that, so. But I don't know if you were here Unless I'm wearing my mail, I prefer to be in my shop. Yeah. I will be, I was saying earlier, I'm going to take next week off actually of doing streaming so I can redo my computer system. Which means, reload Windows. I'm going to take it apart, get all my fans and stuff clean. So I will be taking next week off of my streams. Me semi not online for probably Sunday, maybe part of Monday as I'm getting all that stuff up and going, but I'll be able to check it on my phone if I had any questions and stuff like that, so I can still conduct business per se, but to be able to do any designing and stuff, I'm going to have to take a few days off from that and doing streams. I just figure it'd be better just take off the week, get everything ironed out, straightened out, before we start coming back. Like I said, about the best point to do it right now too, since it's kind of middle summer. Band starts up here actually at the end of July. Their band camp start up, so then I'll start getting busy with doing that too. So, well, I do going to Windows 10 ? I've actually dual boot. My current system runs in Windows 7 and dual boots into Windows 10 if I want to. I just find most of my things that I use, I've gotten so used to working in Windows 7. That's what I kind of prefer. My laptop is running Windows 10. There's parts about Windows 10 that drives me bonkers. So my desktop, I normally will dual boot it so that I can still use 7 for the majority of what I'm doing, even though it's kind of out of style. And I was just reading something the other day. They were talking about Windows 11 coming out. It's like, I still don't like 10, but maybe 11 will be a little better. It's kind of like how all of them are. 95 was good, then 98, yeah. Then they went to Millennium, which was, yeah. What was I didn't ever even try. Well, I did try the one after Millennium, but I ended up going back to Millennium because I didn't care for it. And then 7 came out, and it was like, 7 was about perfect. I like it very much. But now it's through its life cycle, and so 10, and when I first tried 10, I did not like it at all. I'm getting more used to it, but there are still some aspects of 10 that I truly hate. Utility copy 7 is what I use, yeah. Yeah, just most things it just seems to work better. I did try to go full 10 last time I did a reboot, like I said, a little more than a year ago. And I tried using it for about 2 weeks. And there was just so many problems I was having with what I was so used to with my programs. And some of the programs I was using wouldn't work on 10. Supposed to be able to find the driver stuff for them, and they say they were there, but I could never get them to work quite right, so I ended up rebooting the system again, went back to 7, and then dual booted 10 so I could play. And then I put 10 on the computer and or on the laptop. So I've gotten more used to it that way, but I still prefer my 7. Hope 11's better. Yeah, I don't have any touchscreen stuff. I like technology, but I don't have any touchscreen. Oh, a few more here. Like I said, when I get this part done, we'll flip back over and give it a stretch without the background. But I wanted to flip it over, start getting this in, because like I said, I wanted to get it hung tonight a little bit so I can. I probably won't do anything to any fixing tonight, but if I can get it hung, I can stare at it for a while. Or I'll probably stare at it for a while. I was going to say, oh, I'm going to look at it here and there and decide, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it'll be hanging right behind, well, kind of on the other side of the room here. If I can get it to work on the grid wall and hang there. And I'm sure I'll just turn around and stare at it for hours tonight trying to decide, do I want to make that change? Do I not want to make that change? And then tomorrow I'll fix any changes that I want to do. Then I'll get pictures and finish up the video. I'll probably get some of the video working tonight because it takes a good 3 hours from my first conversion for time-lapse. When you're converting 40 some odd hours down to under 4 minutes, it can take a while. Granted, this will be the last section. I've got the first 3 sections in. I tried doing about 10-12 hour segments, because that's about all the program will take in once you put in. I think it stopped at 12. Once I tried to put more than 12 hours into it, it's like, your length of your video is too much. And I was like, what? I was like, well, I mean, I guess, 12 hours of video is quite a bit of video. And I probably, with all the cutting out, like I said, I've got about 45, 46 hours of total time on this project, but I probably got about 52 hours worth of video to go through, and some of it I got to still pull out. Well, I have on the other sections, but I haven't on this section yet, but because there is some dead time where there's nothing going on in the video, and I'm going to pull all that out so the time lapse can be as short as possible. Oh, let's see here. Your thing covered it up. Come on, get off there. There it goes. Will you be flipping the areas you flip? So it shows right side up the whole time? Oh, for the time lapse, is that what you're asking about? Instead of, I know right now I've actually turned this around so I can do the top area here. But it'll be how I basically have streamed it. It should be right side up for your guys' stream, I would imagine. Because I do have, the camera sits one way and I do use the program to flip it for doing my streaming. So, yeah, during time lapse, it'll be kind of, like I said, the same way it was during most of my streams, unlike right now where it's upside down. I'm hoping to get the basics of the time lapse down to, I don't want to go too fast. I mean, it'd be great to be at a minute or two, because I don't want to take up too much time, because people get bored quick nowadays. But when you've got, like I said, 45 hours worth of time to mangle down. At first I was trying to go for about 4.5 minutes, when I was like, yeah. I have my first time last video I created, I did take it down to that, and I was just like, this is, it was only for a portion of it. But I was like, I think it's just going to be a little too long. So I want to try to get it down to about 3.5 minutes for the time lapse, which is fairly fast. I mean, you see that it's almost like a typewriter as this thing moves up the table. I mean, it looks pretty good at that point, but it looks actually faster when I extend the time lapse out longer. Like my 8-minute time lapse of 12 hours actually looks the best with me moving around, but it's just way too long, so I have to cut it down. It's just too much. I don't think people want to sit around and watch a 16-minute video. And I mean, that's why I want to take down to 3.5, and then at the very end there might be about 20 to 30 seconds of just the end of showing pictures of this. There's a few things I want to try when I go to display it for the video at the end. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to work or not, so I might just not even do it, but I want to kind of give it, and try to make it blend in with the rest of the time-lapse video. Because it's all from the same. I guess the midway through it did change a little bit, because that's when I made the mounts for the camera and got the camera up a little higher than when I first started. So it was a little closer at first for the first 25-ish hours or so. And then I got the mounts made and moved the camera up, and so it kind of went out a little bit further after that point. A few more rings here. We'll flip this around. Give it the best stretch we can one last time before we end the stream tonight. These rings aren't actually fitting as bad as I thought they were going to at first, so that's good. Afraid they were going to be too big since I didn't have enough 3/8. I could have just made some up, but I wouldn't have been able to do them tonight. I'm glad I had enough 7/16 to work the job. Oh, there's a big helicopter going on out there. Big old one, too. Must be one of those double... Sounds like one of those double ones. Army helicopter or something going on out there. I guess it still hadn't started raining yet, so that's a good thing. Cats hadn't come in anyway. Haven't heard any thunder yet. Should be moving in here shortly, though. Alright, a few more here. And what time are we running on? I forgot. Okay, 8:36, so we're still going pretty good. We probably will end a little earlier than 9 tonight. And if you here, I think both you guys have watched Sean's streaming. He's been back, so I seen you last night. There's Sean. Go check out Sean over at Mailworks. Put a link into the video last night. If I can remember, I'll try to do it again tonight. He normally comes on at 9 o'clock. That's why I try to wrap up by around 9. Or a little sooner so that we don't overlap our streamies. I was hoping he'd show back up tonight to be able to check this out. But, like I said, everybody's got things to do. I think you're working tonight, aren't you, John? You're normally working during my stream. Seen all your little goodies you posted today, too. Flip back over. Oh, 2 more here. Come on, get under there. Oh, I didn't open you up for enough. A lot more spring back on these 7/16 than the 1/4 inch. You have to kind of get used to it. I think I'll just go there. I'd normally go the single, so we put 109 rings in there. Breaks over in 2 minutes. Yep, 12-hour shift. Yeah. Well, I guess since you're still here, you can almost get the full view here. Like I said, I can't quite get the full stretch on this desk. And with the paper underneath, kind of get a little shadowing, but I'll try to slide it one way and then slide it the other so we can try to get it all at least viewable at some point. Yeah, it's just not going to work all that great. Just don't have enough room on here. That's why I need a little bit bigger of a desk. And then I'll be able to get a full measurement on it. But, yeah, let me go ahead and do the light too. The light seemed to help get rid of the undershadow there a bit. The top's a little wrinkly, but I'm running into my power cord up there. Still blows my mind in tones. I can't even lock under 2 colors. Yeah, it came out pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. I guess you can still see a little bit of the shadowing of the paper underneath. If you go back in the video at some point and watch it, I've got it laid down on a black background that kind of helps get rid of all that. So, like I said, there's a few little things I might still change on this, but overall I am pretty happy with it. I think it came out really well. I'm for being my first portrait styled inlay. I was worried just because, you know, shading and coloring can be a booger. Getting it right, playing around with the graphic to get it just the way you want can be a little bit of a daunting experience compared to just doing a graphic that's just solid colors. It's much easier to work with. Like Vicky's flag, I mean, it was fun and great, but it was definitely easier to create. And the graphics portion of it, just because, you know, there was really no shading per se in it. Have a back of black fabric. I don't know. Well, when I get done with the overall, because this is just one piece of approximately 8 pieces that I'm going to combine together when I get to the end of it. And once I get that far, yes, I would probably cover the whole back in something. But as long as you just have a solid, even if it's a white solid background, it still looks okay. Really doesn't change the effect as long as it's one solid color. It's just when you have other things behind it, you know, that can kind of poke through. And this plastic rubber mat that I have on top, this clear rubber mat, definitely gives the sheen back through, so it's just you can see so much more through the center of it. Well, thank you, Vicky. It looks amazing. I'm glad you like it. I'm definitely digging it. Hopefully everybody else digs it. Like I said, Saturday I'll get some good pictures posted and everything. I'm gonna get it hung up, and hopefully not make too many changes. Like I said, there's just a few little spots, a little tongue spot right here, because his tongue's hanging out. It's kind of blended in with the lips, so I might extend the teeth area colors and kind of blend it out a little further. I think if I change about 3 or 4 rings out and just move them down the line would help there. Tongue area I might have to play with a little bit more. I just don't know yet. Like I said, it will change more once I do get it hung, just because of gravity. The gravity hang on it just changes it. Not a ton, but enough. Let's just say that. It changes it a bit. So, because he looks a little wide in the face here, and that will normally shrink up a little bit more once I get a good hang going on it. Quick another drink here. So, I'm going to turn back on my overhead light so I can see what I'm doing. I've gotten so used to this now, the normal lights just seem so dim and dull that it's like I'm blind anymore. And I am getting old, so... let's see, I wonder if I can... Well, I could do the playing around with him here and give him goofy faces. I still like doing this one. Batman, little man. Batman, little man. Alright. Now, I just love looking at that in the camera, the way everything kind of flips and moves. I'm sorry, I just get a kick out of doing this to my inlays. No matter what they are, even normal styled ones still have that same effect. When you shrink him all the way up, so I was pushing him all the way to one side where he's kind of really bunched up where you'd never really have an inlay at, you know. It looks like one picture, and then when you start sliding them out, it like transforms into another picture. Oh, I'm Stretcher Man. I'm sorry. I just get a kick out of playing it like that. Can we give him the Joker laugh? Not really. When I was right below his mouth, there's a video back there when I was right below his mouth, I did that to it. Gave him like a Joker face. Like the Joker smile, you know. Not so much now that I've added to the bottom. It's harder to get it. There's not as much pull right there to give him the Joker smile. He just looks like he's got... you know, I do like playing with it that way. Sometimes it doesn't look like him when you go too far one way or the other. But that's one thing I'm going to try to do with the time-lapse stuff that I want to do in a video that I'm going to try tomorrow, is to try to do a little something like this in it to kind of play around and kind of show it differently. It's almost like a hologram card or a hologram image, you know, how it changes when you turn. Very talented. Shading is great. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it. Being the first time, I'm pretty happy with the way it did come out on the shading. There's a few little spots, like I said, but overall, you know, being the first time I've done a portrait style, I'm definitely glad it came out as good as it did. Because I was worried when I first started, especially, like I said, when I'm a foot away from this, it looks so much different than when you get back, you know, 4 or 5 feet from it. It just starts coming together at 4 or 5 feet. And when I'm up here doing it going, I'm not seeing it, I'm not seeing it, I'm not seeing it. So then I have to get used to looking in the camera, or, you know, I put up the step stool behind me and stood up as tall as I could to get a better view on it. And it's like, it looks good from here. When I'm close, it just doesn't look right. I'm hoping so. I'm going to tag him on Saturday once I get the pictures and the time-lapse done. And like, well, you might not have been here. When I tagged him 2 weeks ago in this, it actually did show up on his wall in the discussions area, which none of my other stuff that I tagged him in had ever showed up there. So hopefully he'll see it. Hopefully he'll like it, you know. If not, that's all good, but I had fun and I enjoyed doing it. So... let's see here. Yeah, I'm hoping Saturday more will pop up in there, and I'm going to post it around a few different places once I do get some good pictures of it and everything. Hopefully I get some decent pictures of it. I'd like to get it outside and get some pictures there too, but The weather's not going to look very cooperative until Saturday. But we'll see how it goes. Oh, where did I say we were at here? So we're at 8:46, so we're pretty close, near 9. I think we're probably going to go ahead and close it up tonight. Like I said, we'll be back on Saturday around noonish, maybe 11:30 to noon or closer to 1. It kind of depends, but somewhere in between 11:30 and 1 I'll be starting to stream. Only plan on doing maybe half an hour or so, kind of show the time-lapse video, pictures of it. Alright, Vicky, you have a great night too, man. Thank you for stopping in and checking this out. I'm glad you like it, and I'm still super stoked that you like your flag. When you're making something for somebody else, you're more happy when they like it. But we will be back on Saturday for a short amount of time to show the pictures and a time lapse before I post those separately out, and do a quick one, and then we'll go on from there. We'll take off next week. Like I said, if you don't catch Saturday, we're going to take off the next week, but we'll be back the following week on the 5th, I believe I said. July 5th, we'll be back, and back to live streaming our normal setup. So I'm kind of waiting for Mr. Mouse to decide to connect to the Mr. Computer here. And that's one other thing I'm going to get fixed. I'm going to get a corded one for this by the time I come back streaming, so I don't have to wait for this thing to wake up and connect and decide if it wants to connect that night or not. Some days it does better than others. So, but anyway, I want to thank everybody that stopped in and watched this being created. I've had a good time doing it. You can go back and watch any of the video we did from the start till today. All those are out there. They're on YouTube. They're on Facebook. I would say Twitch, but they only keeps a little bit of time on your Twitch side. So thank you all again, and I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you Saturday.